everyone. It's 2 weeks since I've been on here, but here I am, I guess. We'll keep it short tonight. We had been on the road most of the day, just got home not long ago. Um, and I'm a little tired and got to catch up with work. So I got a few of us in here tonight. I didn't share it in any groups or anything. I was a little late making it, so I guess life is busy right now. The spring season's here, and it's definitely taking a toll on all of us. A lot of long days, or say long nights. Packaging egg orders up, which we are pretty much caught up. We're a few orders behind. After Monday, I think we'll be pretty caught up back to our normal, you know, 5 to 7 days from order to shipping. So that's a good thing. We've been really busting butt. Me and Christina sorted quite a few quail yesterday, put them in cages. So once those guys start laying, we'll definitely be caught up and be ready to ship out orders pretty quick at our normal pace, should I say? But got a few exciting things I'll talk about in a bit. I'm glad to be here tonight. We had some bad weather coming through last week, so we decided to cancel the live. We just, without animals, wanted to make sure everything was safe and power outages, and we just wanted to make sure we were prepared and not distracted on the computer. And the weather, I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't too totally bad. But we were definitely prepared. But let's jump into the comments here. Lacey's here. I'm going to assume that's Jeremiah. Hang on one second, guys. That was work. Verna, our moderator's here. Hey, Verna. Verna says, hey, Aaron and Christina. Missed you live this morning. I was driving, and it was a little hectic. Two Chicks Guitarnics is here. Hey, either Rebecca or Leah. Shane Seals Family Farm, says good evening from Seals Family Farm. Hey, Shane. I spent the morning with Shane this morning. Shane and Hope. Grafted Branch Homestead's here. Says hello. Hey, Matt. How are you? I'm waiting on my tea right now, Matt. Christina's going to make me some tea. We were busy right up until I sat down on the computer and the clock was at 0. Hope Seals here. Says, hey, Aaron. Seals Family Farm here. Hey, Hope. Let's see. Jacob LaFave's here. Says, hello, everyone. Hey, Jacob. It's a long time since I didn't talk to you. Sarcasm. Janelle Newton says, hello, Quail folks. Hello, Janelle. Hope you're doing well. A little bit north of us. Verna says, figured you were on the road, Aaron. Yeah. Saturday mornings have been pretty hectic. Got a bunch of quail stuff going on, and some exciting news. We're not ready to release it yet, but be on the lookout. We'll be, Christina's shocked here because Christina doesn't even know. Be on the lookout. We have an exciting thing planned and hopefully on the next live stream we could talk about it once everything's finalized. But it'll be super exciting. It'll be a lot of fun, and yeah, I won't spill the beans too much. I'm gonna leave a little suspense, um, but it's something that me and a few of my close friends have been working on, and we've talked about it, and we're gonna move forward with it, and it'll be super exciting for the quail community, homesteading community, kind of self sufficiency. I think it'll be a little bit of for everyone, and really excited about it. Brian Rodriguez here. Hey Brian, Brian, get with me later today or tomorrow. Um, I got a few fig tree questions for you. John Revore, received my egg order in the mail from you today. Looking forward to hatching out the blacks and seeing the colors with the celadons. All eggs arrived without breaking. Good, that's great. I'm always nervous about end of the week deliveries. Seems like you hit the window where they get delivered on Saturday, or they sit in someone's warehouse till Monday. So I'm always a little skeptical, but I mean, there's 5 days in the week, you know, well, Monday through Friday, and the birds only release so much a day, and I'm really trying to stay ahead of orders. I don't like to be behind. Um, so if you ever wait for an order from me, just know it bothers me as much as it bothers you. I do not like waiting. Um, it's it's very stressful, even when you're the person shipping eggs, and like I'm all of a sudden I turn into a mathematician, and like I could fill this order, and I could fill this order, and you know, oh, I have this many eggs, I could do this, and I always try to do orders as they come in. Of course, like Fun Mix, Hinge Choices, they go out first. Most of the time you're talking about 1 to 2, or let's say 1 to 3 days, so I don't overspeak for myself on the Fun Mix and the Hinge Choice. It seems like for whatever reason everybody's on the Jumbo Browns this year. Um, definitely, definitely missed it on that one. Increased Jumbo Whites and Jumbo Browns seem to be the hot item this year, and Celadons, which getting a tag closer on the Jumbo White Celadons. So it's kind of so many projects, only 24 hours in the day, and unfortunately, I have to be a normal citizen and work a job during the week. And we're in the middle of baseball seasons, and I coach baseball, so I have that 3 or 4 days a week, and it's takes a lot. We had a game Friday night, and I was up early this morning, so things get busy. Fellow Connections here says, okay, I'm here. Make the announcement. I semi made the announcement. HP Murray, how you doing, my friend? He says you can't calculate the USPS. They operate at a much lower level than normal people. I agree. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. I don't see priority mail paying priority mail prices for ground advantage shipping speeds. Priority mail should be 3 to 5 days regardless, and right now priority mail is when you're lucky 7, and when you're unlucky 30 days. So the only issues I have is just delayed packages, and If it was 5 days, it's fine. I ship out fresh eggs every shipment, so I'm not really concerned about 5 days. I'm really not concerned about 6 days, and I mean even seven. If it was seven consistently, I wouldn't be worried about it. But it's when you get to that 9 and 10 days, and which you know, in my area, my biggest problem actually is the New Orleans and St. Rose distribution centers. That's where my holdup is. Like they'll sit there for 3 or 4 days, and then all of a sudden they're moving. It'll take a day or two to get from here to New Orleans or St. Rose, and then they'll sit there for 3 to 4 days, and then now you sit in it a week, and then they'll start moving, and that's when you get that 3 to 5 day shipping window is once it leaves like one of those distribution centers, and I mean, you figure they would do better. I know. Jason, how you doing, my friend? Jason says, couple questions. Is this year above average? Last year I had to post about quail available. Right now I have to turn away business to keep some for myself. Um, I would definitely say this year is equivalent to pandemic time, as far as people are looking for things and they are interested in getting started. The only difference I see between now and the pandemic year would be that they have things to do. During the pandemic, they really didn't have things to do, so people kind of got back to their homesteading roots, which homesteading is a natural thing for us. It's only recent in our recent generations that we kind of move towards big box stores, and I mean, like this whole Amazon being a multi-billion-dollar operation. Of course, the internet, but it's ease. I mean, if you get offended by it, I don't care. But society is lazy, and you want things, one click away. And so the pandemic kind of made it easy to online shop and do things like that. This year, I don't know. I think the pandemic kind of woke people up, and they realized that they need to maybe, start getting some eggs for ourselves because supply chains can be cut off immediately. Um, and then there's a lot of articles and a lot of studies on the different things that are being put into our food, which I'm not a tinfoil hat wearing person, but I've always been of the mindset that you should know the ingredients in your food and know where your food comes from. And since I won't say children, but since we were young adults, freshly married, homesteading was kind of our dream. Of course, we kind of strayed from that for a few years with our older children growing up. That activities and life kind of got in the way of homesteading, but we made it work how we could at the time. And now we're kind of we have just Lane living with us, and he's kind of all in on the homesteading and the animals and everything like that. So it makes it easier for us, and now we kind of live more of a normal life and let what we consider our normal life and what we want. And um, our goal is always 100% self-sufficient, and we're not there. I mean, we're constantly working towards 100% self-sufficiency, and it's kind of like we're being more more mindful of our food purchases and what we're actually consuming and what Lane's consuming. And it's kind of where we are. We're not like full on sufficiency people, and just kind of the goal is that, and that is something we're always going to work towards. And I like to know where my food came from literally from the ground up. Um, do we eat out in restaurants? Yeah, we do from time to time. Um, but I found more over the last few years when I eat in a restaurant, then my stomach doesn't handle it as well anymore because I'm so accustomed to eating homegrown food and garden seasons here, so that'll be great. I'm looking forward to eating fresh vegetables every day. Definitely went off on a side quest on this one. Um, Verna says, "Aaron, that is normal. Would you plan for your customers decide the other instead?" Yeah. Jason got a second question about when does bird buying season slow down? Mid-April. Um, so some of you people are in my business brainstorming group, and I said this, and I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna say that we should peak somewhere around July this year. Um, I'm not telling you to go hatch out 10,000 birds, Jason, but I definitely would hold on for the ride, and you put out a good product, and I think you should be ready to be selling at least until the heat of the summer. And I don't know if it's going to necessarily slow down at that point. I mean, you're here in South Louisiana with me, so I mean we do get like the extreme summer slowdown, but I don't I don't see it happen. To be honest with you, I see us hitting a peak and start to come down on some sales, but I don't think it's going to shut down like we've seen in years past. And I mean, when it does, definitely diversify in what you're selling, and you'll have other revenue streams. And I mean, I think this is not. I wouldn't say normal. I would definitely. It's inflated right now, and I don't think I've ever experienced this large of an increase, and it has been absolutely crazy since probably mid December, and until like I mean now it's just it, it's pretty crazy. I mean, figure Jason's in South Louisiana with me. Um, I talked to Jacob LaFave early in the week, and they had snow where he lives. So like we're in summertime here, and most people didn't even start up their spring hatching yet. I have some recent orders that came in, people in the north that they don't want their eggs shipped until like May and June and July. So we only hit half of the spring rush, and it definitely pick up again. Verna saying wintertime to Jason. Jason says seems like once we hit summer, it almost drops. And so Jason, I agree with that. Most of the time during the summer, it does seem like it kind of you fall off that cliff because people are hot and miserable down here in the summertime. I mean, 100 degrees outside. You know, you're just trying to survive. You're not worried about going tend to animals. You're going to do basic necessities and you know run back to indoors where you have good air conditioning. I mean, like last summer, I think Quailborn got up to 120 plus degrees. You know, you're just fighting to just keep things alive. You're not even trying to do anything other than keep things alive and stay alive yourself. Bird sales are still going to be there. Other avenues to sell. Um, I would just be ready. I don't. It didn't start slowing down yet. So 340 Quail Farms here says, "Hey Aaron and everyone. Hey Tim, I shipped out an order for you, Tim. I'm a, I'm a moron and still can't pronounce your name, but thanks for coming in." Verna says chicken shorter means more want quail as they can get eggs in 6 weeks after hatching, whereas chickens take 6 months. And I'm a big promoter on the quail, and you see a lot of people like, oh well, it takes 3 eggs to equal one chicken egg. It sure does, but you can have a lot of quail eggs before a chicken starts laying. And you know, if you go to your local farm stores, Tractor Supply, whatever, all these other farm stores that are not local to me, um, people are buying up chicks as they roll in. My local feed guy, his tub of chicks was empty when I went and get feed the other day, and I asked him. I said, "How long are you keeping chicks?" He said, "The day they come in and they leave out and he empties out." He had his orders coming once a week, but the supplier that he gets them from actually cut his down in half because there's such a demand. So, but I mean, people generally have an unrealistic expectation when it comes to that. They buying these chicks up. They don't know how to brood. Never done it before, but because they see egg prices at $8.50 a dozen, they want to start raising chickens. And chickens is not a, raising chickens from a chick is not a cost-effective solution to combat high egg prices in the store. Simple economics, a little, you know, a little third grade math would lead you to that conclusion. Caterni's quail is, it's still not free. Caterni's quail is a good, fast, cost-effective solution to combat higher egg prices. Yes, it's going to take you a couple more eggs to equal a chicken egg. You're going to get there faster, so that means you're going to have less feed involved in it. Takes up less space. You know, neighborhood restrictions and stuff like that. A lot of stuff on quail is not necessarily regulated, so you could get around it a whole bunch, and you'll find out real quick if that's what you want to do or not with quail as opposed to chickens, because you know by midsummer, that June July area, egg prices are going to come down. So they're saying egg prices are inflated right now because of avian influenza impacting laying flocks, and those laying flocks will be back online by then. Egg prices are going to drop, and you bought chickens to combat egg prices, and now you're sitting on getting, if you went a little wild and crazy, because chicken math is chicken math, you're sitting on getting two dozens of eggs in a day, and the stored egg prices are at $2 and 250 a dozen before you even get your first egg. And then now you're irritated and you're selling your chickens for cheap that you've been raising for 6 or 7 months, and the cycle is going to repeat itself. It repeats itself every couple years. I have my own opinions about that. I won't go into that too much, but where the smoke this fire. 340 Quail Farm says, Aaron, egg order from you should be here Tuesday. Super excited. Yeah, I was super excited to package that one up, Tim. Matt says, oh, very well said. Yeah, not sure about which part because I went on a few side quests, but that's definitely me. What would be a live stream with me without a few side quests? Verna says, to be totally self-sufficient, you would have to grow not only your food but your animal food too. Yeah, I agree. And I'm a call my lifestyle hybrid. It's not fully self-sufficient. I am still reliant on the system somewhat. I do have some precautions in place for longevity. Let's say a supply chain would be cut off in certain areas. We do have plans in place because we do have a lot of animals that would be very costly to replace. Verna says, modern Russian roulette. Each time you eat processed food, mostly restaurant food. Yeah. We used to years back would do it as a treat here and there, or date night and stuff like that. And now we kind of more tend to date night cleaning poop trays. That seems to be the best one. Date night packaging egg orders till 1 a.m. Um, yeah, we had date night barbecue brisket at midnight one night during the week after packaging egg orders. So that's when we finally got to eat dinner. HP Murray says you can't do everything we are accustomed to. That's why some of our friends do the bartering system. I love the bartering system. I've done the bartering system today. It is definitely a way of life, and I'm not going to pick on you with your age, but I know you're a couple years older than me. But so I know that you, like your parents and grandparents, probably talk more about that bartering system and the they can their own stuff, and that's kind of lifestyle I want to live. I think that's a more natural lifestyle, and I think that's something I enjoy more. A good bartering system, it it works. I mean, it's a good neighborly, friendly thing to do, and everyone walks away happy. And then you're not obligated to do so much on your own. Like if you're growing corn this year and I'm growing soybean and we swap, then terrible analogy because who freaking even eats soybean um, unless you like edamame. But you know what I'm saying. So I don't have to grow corn because we're going to swap soybean and corn. And it works out, and that's kind of how they lived life back then, and it was a lot more peaceful back then. HP says we got behind in December, been trying to catch up since. I'm almost there. Almost there. Oh, Christina, I was like, who is this? This is a pretty logo, but it's my logo. So, um, yeah, Christina said we took 2 weeks off of shipping in 2024 for Christmas. Yeah, so I kind of pushed the envelope, and um, subconsciously I knew better than to ship. Um, you know, after the first day of the week of Thanksgiving, and I pushed my luck, and I got a couple more weeks out of it before I noticed like a drastic decline in shipping speed, and then I halted everything until I shipped the day after Christmas, and one of those packages took 30 days to get to Alabama, day after Christmas. So I'll kind of probably do the same thing this year, but I'll probably wait till after the first of the year. Um, I rolled the dice, and you know, delayed shipping is delayed shipping. It's not the customer's fault. I'll fight with USPS for my claims, and I reship. I mean, it's not anyone's fault. You know, I don't offer any hatch rate guarantees, but a late shipment's a late shipment. I could see it. No one's falsifying anything. No one's being dishonest. I could see. I know when it's shipped, and I could see when it arrives. So definitely don't want any bad experiences on that. Jason says, "Thanks for the answers and insight. Appreciate your time." Yeah, Jason, you know how to get in touch with me if you have any more questions. If you're interested in the business brainstorming, we just had it. It's the third Tuesday of every month. Go on my website, and under Quail Business, you could sign up on the email list, and I'll email you the login information and a reminder and everything like that. It's totally free. Jason, is just something that continuing on for my friend Linda Easton Waller, who started it, and it's a good peer-to-peer setting where you can kind of share information, help, and we have some topics, and it. I think you'll gain something out of it. I mean, worst case, we'll just make fun of Shane the whole time. Jacob says, I had chicken chicks and I sold all of them today. But I have 36 chicken eggs. They go into lockdown tomorrow. Chicken. I got an incubator full of chicken eggs right now. No, oh.
Don't
Mostly.
only 2 trays of chicken eggs.
Oh, 2 trays of chicken eggs now.
Everything else is quail eggs, sir.
Oh. That's 2 trays more than what I want. Verna says Caternix quail is usually not regulated, but other types of quail you'll possibly need permits in most states. Yeah, most states require permits for like the bob whites and other species of it. There's a few states in the United States that require permits for Caternix, and some of them require permits for Caternix for over a certain amount. And then I think Florida got a weird one that they require a permit over a certain amount, or if you're going to sell them. So it's a little weird, but I mean, definitely I'd check with your local state agencies and verify any permitting required. Verna says prepping plans are always good, no matter if it's prepping for natural calamities or when stuff hits the fan. Yeah, I just like to be prepared for everything. I mean, like, with farm animals, kind of, they're dependent on me and me providing for them. Free range chickens, I could free range the goats and stuff like that. But I mean, they're mostly dependent on me for survival, or us for survival. So it's, I just like to be prepared, because it's not their fault if supply chain gets cut off, but bad planning on my part is my fault. And animals around here, I only want them to have one single bad day, and that is on butcher day. And that is it. Everything's done humanely and quick. Hope says, what is a date night? I don't get those. You had one on Valentine's Day. You got to see me on Valentine's Day, and then Shane took you out. So don't have any excuses there. And of course, I'm drinking Grafted Branch tea. You can check them out. Grafted Branch Homestead. I love their tea. Their teas, all their ingredients are grown on their homestead. It's all natural, and I don't even know which one I have right now, but it's good. Anxiety. Oh yeah, it's my favorite. Definitely check them out if you like tea. Coils and Tails is here. Hey, popped in late. Hi there. Hey, glad you stopped in. HP, you are a busy man. So HP says, good question, Hope see. HP says we wasn't homesteaders. We were known as poor sharecroppers and had to depend on neighbors. It wasn't It wasn't called homesteading back then. HP. It was just called survival. And look, you made it. The Knapp family mini ranch. It's date night. Weather turned nasty, cold and snow. So you're the entertainment now. Oh, great, Darren. If we're waiting on me to entertain, then like if I'm the best you have, your options are very limited, my friend. Very, very limited. Grafted Branch says thanks, Matt. You know I love your tea. It's a live stream and evening favorite around here for me. Christina's not a huge tea fan, but I mean, I absolutely love tea. I like coffee in the morning, tea in the evening, and I don't know what that makes me, but it makes me something. I know HP probably has coffee in his hand right now. I could almost doubt if he's awake, he has coffee. Jacob says, I need to break down and buy a cabinet incubator. My egg dealer doesn't miss a beat. Got a pretty good egg dealer, and I lost it now. Look, got my subscription list. Stays handy. So I try to ship out my subscriptions on time every time. Just it makes it convenient to plan around it. I like the subscriptions, especially like the ones that got the fun mix subscriptions because I like getting all the pictures of the hatches. Because sometimes you get into stuff that I want to hatch and I don't have room to hatch. Or Christina starts with that, you know, we don't have any incubator space. Probably one of the worst things I want to hear from her is we don't have any incubator space or we don't have any brooder space. I don't like hearing those things. It kind of ruins my day because I like to incubate. I probably like to incubate more than I like to be honest with you. Um, I'm weird. I'll be very honest about that. I love the smell of a fresh hatch when you open the incubator. I don't know if we can bottle that up and make it like a cologne or something because I love that smell. Now, once I start eating and pooping, that's a different story. But I love the smell of a fresh hatched chick. It, I'm very weird, and Darren, you got some good entertainment off of that one. But I just love the smell. They definitely start pooping, and it's not fun. Verna says you got the addiction bad, Aaron. I do, and it's kind of funny because with all the things I could have got addicted to, it's quail and hatching, and it could be worse, could be something else. Um, I I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Like first time hatchers that buy eggs and they get super excited on hatch day and sending pictures and I like to see that. I like to see the little ones, kids getting involved in it, and holding chicks and just collecting eggs and feeding. I really enjoy seeing all of that. It definitely makes me feel accomplished when I could see, I know an order I packaged up, and then I get pictures of the children with the quail, and said I'm weird. Never lied about that. Jacob says the brooder space gets me the most. Yeah, it's you know, you figure out a way. Usually, like in the late fall, early winter here, pretty much everything's a brooder. If it could hold heat and birds, it's a brooder. Tubs, all my brooder boxes, and brooder stalls, and like everything has heat and has chicks in it. That's kind of my replacement time of the year. Coming out of the summer with, you know, not shipping with the heat and lower orders. I use that time to replace breeders and replenish stocks and stuff. So I'm brooding a lot. I like to hatch out chickens at that point, and that way I got spring layers, um, spring live bird tails on chickens, which we really didn't do much of this year. Um, Usually we hatch out a ton of chickens and have them ready for spring sales, but
Just keeping them all.
Christina's like keeping them all. Like I looked last night in the brooder stall where we have the chickens, and I thought I had a quail problem. Friends, Christina has a chicken problem. She has these silkies everywhere.
But I'm only going to keep like 5 of them.
Yeah, yeah, they're all in the roosters, but it'll be fine. Um, I have a few white American breasts in there in that mix. She allowed me to hatch, but I don't know. The Knapp family mini ranch says need to get educated on dehydrated wings. A trip to the pet store was an eye opener. Um, so 165 for about 8 hours there. Um, you can kind of stretch them out a little bit how you want, and they pretty much but 165 for about 8 hours, and you'll be good to go. The I don't really care the way it comes out freeze dried, but dehydrated. That's the way to go. If you're gonna do anything thicker than a wing, like if you do skulls or something, you'll need to go a little bit longer. I would go higher temp, but the wings are pretty good around there. And if you want to do a good test, try to break a bone. If the bone snaps, then you are good to go. You're dry. Matt says I got to run to dinner. Have a great evening, y'all. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, Matt. Um, I know we kind of talked earlier, Darren, about different quail parts and stuff, and the market for different quail dog treats and pet treats, not just dogs, is it's there. And most of the stuff is a byproduct, whether it be your leftover eggs or your not good quality eggs. Um, Byproducts from processing, like your wings and your skulls and your feet and stuff like that. I mean, you could make a small fortune just off of your byproducts if processed properly and marketed properly. The market's there, just like people are looking to get back and know what's in their food. People have pets and they're also health conscious on their pets because of the dyes, and the regulations on pet food is um, not very strict. So there's a lot of fluff and other nonsense put into pet food, commercially produced pet food. So people are kind of they're hopping on that train of getting some more natural pet foods going. The raw pet food market is taking off. It's absolutely insane. Um, I could probably sell quail to just pet food and probably have a lot less headache, but less interaction. But it's not something that really, you know, it's really pulling me towards it right now. I mean, I do whatever, and everyone that knows me knows that whatever a customer demands, or I'll meet them somewhere. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a quail farmer. If I don't have customers, so which I'm still gonna farm regardless, but you gotta meet them somewhere, and you gotta meet that demand. And when it comes to like wings and stuff like that, if you're gonna process your wings, you they're gonna store really well. You can vacuum seal them, and they'll store really well. If you overshoot the market, you'll be fine. But I mean, they're using them as training tools, treats, chew toys, and kind of a little bit of everything. But that is definitely taking off right now, big time. Last probably year, it has been can't keep up with it at all. John Rivor says running out of brooder space is my biggest challenge right now. If I could find something around the house that I think can hold chicks, it turns into brood at this point. Yeah, John, like that's how I am in the fall and winter. Like, I mean, I'll dump things out of totes and put it on the ground just so I could use that tote as a brooder. And I have a very very large brooding capacity, and sometimes it's still not enough. I mean, when you're hatching out thousands every couple of days, it catches up to you real quick. Good part is for quail, like especially for here in the south. Like in a couple months, I'll be at where like I'm providing heat for 1 week, and after that, it won't even be any heat. That it'll be outside temperatures will be at the brooder temperature, so the heat sources won't even kick on with the temperature controls I have. And then once it gets to like July and August, like you might have an hour of heat a day, and the rest is just natural heat. And you're looking for fans to put in your brooder, cool your brooders off because it's too hot with no heat source. Um, you're a little bit more north of me, so I'm sure you still get cold. So you'll be forced to brood for a little bit longer than I do. Nat Family Mini Ranch says, thanks for the wing info. Yeah, you know how to get in touch with me if you need anything, Darren. Verna says, just remember dehydrator cooks the bones, which makes them more dangerous for dogs, whereas freeze dryer does not cook, only takes out the moisture. Yeah. 165 is it doesn't make the bones splinter. They'll still breakable, but it doesn't make the bones splinter. Quails and Tails is asking if you dehydrate with the feathers on the wings. Yes, just like you do, cut them off of the body, and you could kind of give them a little stretch so they're not folded up. And I can maybe get Christina to make a little graphic on like different grades of it, because I'm not a graphics person. But with the wings on, then I mean you could put on a string on a stick, and if you have cats, you want to give your cats a little mental exercise, a little physical exercise. You could work with it like that. People usually buy them in pairs. I see them online, very overpriced. And remember, it's a byproduct, so you're not going to raise a quail just for the wings. You're raising a quail for either meat, dog food, food for you, eggs, whatever. Wings are a byproduct. So, I mean, some people feel the need to sell a pair of processed wings at $10 a pair, which is grossly overpriced. I mean, being a byproduct, I don't see. I mean, I really don't see charging someone an unfair price. That's just my personal opinion. I don't try to run anyone else's business. I'm just trying to stay afloat on mine. That's how I feel. Verna says a freeze dry with feathers is good for the dogs. Feathers is a lot of protein. If you look at the guaranteed analysis, which you can send it off. Sorry, not you, Darren, because Darren's not in the States, but you can send off to your local state departments and get a guaranteed analysis, and it'll give you all your percentages of everything that's in it. And a lot of states, if you're going to be a pet food producer, you need a pet food producer's license, and they will require you to get a guaranteed analysis in most states. Louisiana doesn't require a guaranteed analysis. There's a few other states that don't require a guaranteed analysis, and there's a few states that require over a certain poundage produced, which I don't understand how they could actually regulate that and track it, but you know, just check your local regulations. If you need help looking at your local regulations on pet food or interpretation, you can reach out and I will assist you. Verna says feathers do provide a good nutrient for dogs and cats. Yeah, it's loaded with protein. May look a little weird coming out, but it's good for them. I mean, I've looked at a few guaranteed analysis reports on different quail parts for pet food, and the wings aren't bad. It's a little gross to look at when it comes out, but it's not bad. Vernon says buck a piece in the highest I'd sell them. Yeah, it's a byproduct. You have a little cost involved. You're not talking about a whole bunch, and if you run a dehydrator for let's say 8 hours, I mean you're not probably looking at a couple bucks of total cost over 8 hour period with let's say 50 25 pairs, 50 wings. So I mean you're not looking at a bunch of cost, and you're not looking at a bunch of handling to actually do the processing. So the cost of production is not high. Some people feel the need to elevate that price a whole bunch. Personally, I don't like to just inflate prices because I can. I like to be fair on everything, and rather than make a ton of money on one sale, I'd rather just slowly chip away at it and be fair for the customer, because I'm not going to sell anything I wouldn't purchase myself. or for the price. No, it's just I don't know. That's just how I feel. So I mean, you can do what you want. You could sell quail eggs for $100 a piece. It really doesn't matter. You do you, and I'll just keep on trying to survive. Jacob saying, I'm super happy that I found a better feed for my quail now. I'm excited to see the yolk difference in the eggs. I'm going to keep one cage on the old feed just to see if there's a difference. You will see a difference. Because I'm cheating here because I know what your old feed look like and I know what your new feed look like. So you will notice a yolk color difference. You will notice an increase in fertility, um, overall health. You'll notice after probably about 3 weeks of your switch over, you'll notice the feathers will start looking better and just overall quality of the bird. Verna says if they're chewers, you don't really see them when they come out. Well, I got a 5 pound chihuahua that eats them, so and she could eat a full grown jumbo caternix very quickly. She doesn't chew much; she just swallows. Quails and Tails is asking, with our Texas heat, could we do an outdoor dehydrator for the wings? Um, so unfortunately, you have the same kind of heat as I do, but you also have humidity, and humidity is going to get you, and it will start to rot before it actually dries because of the humidity in the air. I mean, if you did like a solar oven or something like that, you could probably do it outside, but the humidity will get you. Trying to hang dry it, it it wouldn't end up good. Verna says you might be able to do it, but they might draw flies. Yeah, but which fortunately, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing because I don't know how much I could survive it, but we have a good portion of our summer that we have absolutely zero flies here. It's mostly because it's just too dang hot for them to survive, and they go find you guys up north and bother y'all until it starts to cool off down here. And I mean, it really gets so hot here that it's wow. Like literally, walk outside 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're sweating just walking. I'm a little overweight and out of shape, but still sweating just walking to the truck. Quails and Tails says I started selling chicken eggs this weekend with my quail eggs at the market. People thank me for keeping my prices down. Um, so we're not selling chicken eating eggs this year. We drastically downsized our chicken flock last year, but even with the price increases in the past, we always kept it the same, and which we were like $3 for a while, and then we kind of went to four because we're doing our own egg cartons, and I mean that's an added cost that I mean we didn't really profit from selling chicken and eating eggs. It was more an experience. It was someone buying the dozen of chicken eating eggs and then buying something else, and it's kind of just a door opener and just a service we provided. We just right now we don't have the chicken numbers to do that, and I have white American breasts, so I really don't want to sell white American breasts eating eggs for $3 a dozen. When you go online and try to buy it, it's $150 a dozen for white American breast hatching eggs. I'd rather just hatch them out and increase my flock. Nap Family Mini Ranch says I made contact with a Canadian laboratory that provides an analysis. Their test standards are based on American feed control officials' standards. That that seems to be like a standard across the board on what they use. I know like a lot of the stuff north and south of the border is kind of the same. Like we follow some Canadian guidelines, not all of them, but it's kind of like a hand in hand thing. um, it's the just the commercial pet food market is crazy with some of the stuff that's in there, but also if you look at some of the processed foods that's on the shelf available to us is not available in other countries. It just goes back to what I said in the beginning. We are lazy, all of us, myself included. We're just looking for the easy way out. Rather grab the box of food off the counter, off the shelf of the store instead of, making stuff from scratch. And, as a civilization, we are just everybody's in a hurry. So, and we want things now. And I think that we kind of lost our way somewhere in the last 75 years. Verna says, I'm blessed. Lucy is a chewer. Only thing I've seen that changed her poo was flecks of eggshells when she eats a couple dozen in one setting. Yeah. One of my Great Danes got into some corn. I've seen some corn out there. It's cracked corn at least. Or came out cracked corn at least. Alex Smith says, sweet, back on, baby. Sure am. One of these days I'm going to get you on a live stream, Alex. Cousin Tail says, I was thinking solar oven. Yeah, and solar oven's pretty easy to make. Definitely just one of the most important things would be some air movement in there, just so it's not still air, I'm When it says that should work, quail. Yep. Yeah. I've seen the Quails and Tails are saying people are charging 11 and 12 a dozen. Yeah, that's quite crazy. I think I would just go without an egg before I pay $12 a dozen for chicken eggs. That's just me. And that's the only way you're really going to combat high prices is just not buy it. Quickest way to send a message is not purchase it. If you complain about it and still buy it, you're really not doing anything to help the situation. But if mass numbers of people stop purchasing these overinflated products, then they're going to have to lower price. It's just, they'll take a reduced price before they take no price. I mean, again, that's far off into side quest there. Got a few minutes left, and then I got to get back in the barn. Well, I say get back in the barn, but I haven't really done much work in there today. Got a few things to do out there before we turn in for the night. Long day today, and plan on trying to get at least 5 or 6 hours of sleep tonight. Wishful thinking. My old friend Mason Fields is here. Says, hey Mason. Hope you're doing good up there. So we are actually tomorrow. We're going to do tomato pruning and tying up video. Is that correct, Christina? Yeah. So that's how far south we are. We're pruning tomatoes and tying them up. The garden is looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. We put in a lot of work in the off season, and it's we're definitely starting to reap the rewards of our hard work, and it's just beginning. We should hopefully be harvesting tomatoes soon. A couple more weeks, possibly something like that. Not long. Less than a month, we'll be harvesting tomatoes. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll probably have a couple more weeks. We'll be harvesting radishes, and everything else will soon be catching up. So that's pretty good. But then, right when all my northern people like Darren and Jacob are, starting to plant, then I'll be complaining it's so hot down here, and I'll be crying about it while you guys are enjoying 75-degree days. I'll be burning. So I guess I'll just not complain about the heat right now because it's not hot yet. See, Quails and Tails says they're buying gallons of raw milk for 10 and 11 from the same people at my farmer's market. That's not that bad. I know the actual cost of raw milk is pretty high. That's not a bad price. I mean, I personally would like to pay about 7 to 8, but 10 to 11 is not that much more when the amount of work that's involved on. It's not just the milking itself; it's the getting it up to that point, and then the handling of it. It's a lot more costly than and a lot more in depth than just going to collect chicken eggs, because you can get a laying flock and just free range them with some nest boxes, and just the most you have to do is squirt a little water out there and go collect eggs out of nest boxes, and it's pretty simple. But if you have a hand milked dairy cow or had to clean a milk machine, it's very labor intensive. Um, yeah. And then if you try to milk a bull, and it's really a little more harder, but that's just my sarcasm for the night. Jacob says Mason is actually late for once. Mason is late. It's kind of proud of him. It's not too often an old man is late. Darren says the only thing we're harvesting here is ice cubes. I could have harvested them out the freezer too. That's in the freezer. It was 80 today, or like 82 today. It was a nice day. It was actually pretty comfortable. We're a little cool in the evening. We'll probably get down to like 60 tonight, but it's not too bad. This is kind of my favorite time of the year. This, and then like November, when I call it fall, which is technically like starting our winter, but it's fall. We have mild days and cool evenings. That's my second favorite time of the year. Like right now, I'll be able to work in the garden tomorrow, and I feel like I'm working in the oven. But I like the cool. Verna says we don't reach 60 as high as yet. Yeah, and then look at Jacob. My high temp isn't even hitting 60 yet. Yeah, that's my cool. That's my low for tonight, like 60, I believe. Somewhere around the low 60s. Shane Seal says I got a bowl you could practice milking on. Nobody. Milk's a little sour coming out of the bowls, so I'll leave that one to you. Well, I'm an hour in, and I still gotta unload the truck and a few quail barn projects, but we'll put out some videos this week, and we'll see you guys next Saturday. And we should have a special announcement next Saturday. Official announcement. We'll see. But definitely stay tuned. And we'll see you guys next week.